Good morning, pirates. Arg. Today is the day that I take over the ship. For today and tomorrow, at least. Good morning. How are we all doing? I already have breakfast prepared, so I'll eat that in the first sprint. And I'm going to be finishing up the last few pages of The Resurrectionist. Because my audiobook is due back today, so I need to finish it. And I do have our timer already set with a small to-do list of things that I need to focus on. Let us see who all is here. And we shall get started. Swank says, "Privet, everybody. Happy Thank a Teacher Day. Happy Take Your Cat to Work Day. And happy Apple Strudel Day." Ooh. Well, my cats are with me all day, every day, so I guess that counts. And I don't have apple strudel, but I could go get some. That sounds delicious. I don't know how I would thank a teacher. I suppose I could just say it out loud. I thank so-and-so for X, Y, and Z. I'll do that later. I have to think of somebody. Lindsay says, "Hey guys, is it normal time pirates today? When does Alicia take over? Is that next week or today?" Honestly, I have no idea what's going on. It could have already happened. Nope, it happens today. I take over the ship today and tomorrow. And then Kelly will be back on Friday. Unless she has decided. I know they were having storms, so unless she has decided not to travel, then we will add her to the stream. We'll see. Molly is here. My cats are at my work every day. Yay! Also, hi all. Swank says, "Konnichiwa, Molly, Allie, and Lindsay." I didn't see Allie yet. Is Allie here? Did I miss something? Yes. Because according to YouTube, Allie should have showed up right before this comment, but she did not. However, I can see her on the YouTube. Allie says, "Hi, hello everyone. I'm still in the middle of reading Murder in Season by Jessica Fletcher and John Land on page 116. Why did that not show up for here? Interesting. YouTube is doing YouTube things." Lindsay says, "Hey, Alicia, I see you've taken over." So it turns out I do know what day it is. Yes, Lindsay. It is takeover day. Although I don't have much to take over. I will say my shoulder is quite sore from painting yesterday. But if you go in the Discord, you'll be able to see the pretty green bookcase that has been painted. We'll probably move it into the library today. We want to make sure it's dry. Although Google says that it takes 24 hours for the paint to dry, but it's not cured for another 21 to 30 days. I don't know what that means. Does that mean I cannot put my books on it until July? Because if that's the case, that sucks, because I got a lot of books and I need to put them on the shelves, but I don't want them to stick to the shelves. So we'll have to figure that out. Swank says, "My cat too." And konnichiwa, Swank. I'm double making sure that I can keep an eye on the chat, because just in case something else doesn't pop up. Let me know if I skip anything, and I'll look to the YouTube. Andy says, swinging by to say hi, Alicia and pals. Swank says howdy to Andy. Paula is here. Hi, Alicia and chat, dropping by to hug the like button. Hello, Paula. Are you sprinting this morning, Paula? Let us know. We can put in the link so we can come over and say hi. Ren says, hello, everyone. Hello, Ren. Swank says hola to Paula, and Andy says hey to Swank. Lindsay says, oh yeah, Kelly said she was getting flash flood warnings. Right. And I don't know, she hasn't said anything about whether or not she actually went or not. That's why I keep trying to see if that's why I'm trying to see if it's if she messages or not. So far, nothing. Swank says hola, Ren. Allie says hi to Paula. Hello, Paula. Ren, I need to go wash dishes and start cooking, thinking a Cape Malay curry, perhaps. So I'll be missing the first sprint and maybe just a little bit of the second sprint too. No worries. I don't know what the food that you're making is. I've never heard of that, but I hope it's delicious. And Pearl is here. Hello. Ren says, not sure if I'll continue with Bloodbound or start a darker shade of magic. We will be starting a darker shade of magic later tonight, as it is Wednesday, so 100 pages book club. We start a darker shade of magic. I need to make sure that we tabbed it and it's in the Discord, like the breakdown. So I'll probably do that in the first sprint. Let me add that to my task list. Because I need to make sure that we have that. I mean, I think the book is 400 pages, so 100 pages a week, and then the discussion, but I'll double check and make sure. Ren says hey to Swank, and hey to Allie, and hey to Pearl. Pearl says hi there to Ren, and Ren says hi, hey Lindsay. Swank says, yeah, her part of Texas is having a tropical storm on the coast. Yikes. May have to text her and see how she's faring, how she's doing. Ren says hey to Andy, and Allie says hey to Ren. Andy says you could run a fan heater in the room and it might dry the paint faster. I don't know if I have fans, but I don't have a fan heater. I'll see what I can come up with. I think it doesn't help with the Florida humidity either. So, right now it's sitting in the garage. And if the dryer is running, then it kind of blows the hot air out into the garage. Don't know why. That's how it was set up. But I don't know if that affects the paint in any way. I'll have to Google it. Andy says hi to Ren, and Swink says hi to Pearl. Agent T is here. Hi, Swink. Hola, Alicia in chat. Hello, Agent T. How are you this morning? Ren says, I think book club sprints are on Chantel's channel today. Oh. Okay, we'll have to post the link. Ren says, hey, Agent T. Pearl says hi there to Swank. Swank says namaste. Namaste, Dr. T. Allie says hello to Pearl. And hi there, Allie from Pearl. Ren says Cape Malay curry is so good. Is it spicy? Uh, Um, because if it's very spicy, I can't do spice. If it's not so spicy, then I could probably eat it. Lindsay says, "Oh, I'm going to read book 3 in a darker shade of magic series while you guys read through book 1." Ooh, you're ahead of us. So, if you're on book 3, does that say that it's a good book? Is the series good? Let us know. Um, Ren says, "I think the difference is just in the spice blend. You'd use a Cape Malay mix." I don't know what that is. Lindsay, a dehumidifier would probably dry the paint too. I don't have one of those. I have humidifiers, but not a dehumidifier. Hmm. Hmm. I will test it too because I keep touching it to see if it's like tacky, if it's like sticky or anything. So I'll check it this morning. Swank says I only have 60-ish pages left in Feral Creatures, then starting a darker shade of magic. Nice. Ren says you can make it spicy or sweet or a balance of both. Interesting. Swank says I believe most curries are spicy. Well, not for me then. If you guys know how spicy a mild packet at Taco Bell is, that's my spice level. That's all I can handle. Otherwise, my stomach gets very upset. And I think that's because of part of my childhood. My parents used Texas Pete hot sauce as punishment. Just a dab on the tongue. And now I don't like and I can't handle spicy food. I don't know if that's a whole correlation, but that is my assumption. Lindsay says it's one of a million series that I'm reading. Only kidding. I think it's only about 50. Jesus. Even 50's a lot. Although I have no room to talk. I'd have to add up my series. I can tell you it's probably at least 10. At least. Because I've read like one book of one series but haven't finished it. I'm like, and I do have several series where, like, for whatever reason, I only have one book left in the series before it's finished. Why I have not read that last book, I have no idea. So I'll have to get on that because I would like to finish some series, and that's the whole goal. And here we are now, halfway through June, which is halfway through the year. So I got to get a move on. Molly says I still working on Bone, the complete collection, about halfway through the 1,332 pages. That's all one book? Like is it several books put together and that's why it's so big? That's a lot. That's huge. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Molly says I also just started a romance day called Anywhere You Go. Never heard of it. Who is it by? And let us know what you think. Do you like it so far? Are you just starting? Allie says, "Wow, Molly, that's a chunky book, right? That's a huge, huge book." Lindsay says, "I'd say you'd be good to put your books on the shelves after a few days." Okay, so maybe I'll move it into the library, let it sit for a couple of days, and then it should be okay, perhaps. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it because it's all painted. I want to make sure. Um, it took us the longest time. shelf that my Hogwarts Castle Lego set sits on, that took forever for it to not be sticky. And I think because I just put the castle on it, hopefully it's not sticky now. Like I was touching it and it doesn't feel sticky, but when I go to move and dust the castle, if it is stuck to the shelf, then I'm gonna have to come up with a solution. My last solution was to put like the clear protective sheets underneath of it so that it sits on that and not the shelf itself. But I don't know if I have any of those. I'd have to go buy some, and I'm not gonna buy some just for that purpose. So we'll see. We'll see. Agent T says I'm attempting to read my whole book today. So far, 47% of the way through. Children making all sorts of noise. They're eating breakfast, and my son has one of those Go-Gurt tubes of yogurt, and he ate it, but he's trying to do like the little party thing that blows out. I forget what they're called. Lindsay says, LOL, I used to like spice, but now I can't handle it. And that's a terrible punishment to give a kid, right? I don't remember why they did it, but I can't handle a lot of spice. The only time I was able to handle spice was when I was pregnant with my daughter. She made me go from a mild packet to a hot sauce packet, and it was because I couldn't taste the mild packet, but I could taste the hot sauce packet, and it was almost as if I was eating the mild packet. Does that make sense? It was like, even though it was a step up, it still tasted like the mild. It was just enough kick, and she likes spicy things too, so. Allie says, I can't handle much spice either, Alicia. Taco Bell spice is all I can handle too. Acid reflux is terrible. Ugh. I imagine that is not fun at all. What? Hold on. Comments jumped. There we go. This one. I was on this one. Molly says, Bone is a graphic novel and is a collection of several, but is a continuous story. Oh. Is that the one that, somebody showed it on their sprints yesterday? Was it Pearl? Pearl showed it, I think. Is it that one? I remember seeing those when I was younger. I never read them, though. Swank says, I love Chipotle sauce. It's smoky. I don't remember the last time I had Chipotle. So I may or may not have had the sauce. And Molly says, I have also started Lore Olympus Volume 2, the graphic novel adaptation of Stamped from the Beginning, and it rhymes with Taki. I don't know that. I mean, I know Lore Olympus, but I don't know Stamped from the Beginning. And it rhymes with Taki. I don't know if I knew those. I am reading Lore Olympus. I think I just finished volume 8 or 9. And I have 10. And 11 comes out soon. When does 11 come out? Let me look. Oh. Barnes & Noble changed their website. I don't like it. Volume 9, Volume 10. I need Volume 11, please. Here we go. Volume 11. October 6th is when it comes out. So, October 6th. Pearl says, yes, we showed it yesterday. Yes, see? I remembered. Yay. Okay. I knew somebody showed it yesterday, and I couldn't remember if it was Pearl or not. Molly says Pearl showed Bone. Yes, yes. The little ghost. George Takei. Is that the is that the author? Let me know. But on that note, we have reached the bottom of the comments. So I am going to pull up our timer here so we can do our first sprint. Stamped from the Beginning is by Ibram X. Kendi. It's a Black history book, and this is the graphic novel. Oh, I got you. I get it now. Okay, I've not heard of that one. I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up in the sprint. But let us go to our first sprint. First 30 minutes on the clock. We do have our little glowing galaxy kitty today. I did not know I had him. I knew of the purple one, but not of this one. So we're going to use him today. So I am going to work on my little to-do list that you see here on the screen. And then 30 minutes. And I will see you back in 30 minutes. Molly says, actor from Star Trek original series. Oh, is that who George Takei is? Oh, I don't think I've seen any of the Star Trek. It's on my list of things to watch. And Molly says, well-known gay actor slash activist. Oh. I may have heard his name or seen him in articles or whatever, but I have not watched Star Trek, so I've watched Star Wars, but not Star Trek. It's on my list. Don't hate me. All right, let's go to our first sprint. I'm going to start with breakfast, and then I'll go from there. Happy sprinting! How did we do on that first sprint? I can tell you that I can cross off breakfast and I did finish the Resurrectionist. So those two are done. I did not do any of the others yet. So that will be my focus for the second sprint. I did have to let the cat out on the lanai. So I don't know what her issue is, but she seems to be meowing more and more in various places around the house. So we'll see. She seems to be happy now that she's back outside. So I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I think she's just getting old and senile. She is 16 years old. So we'll see. But that's what I got up to. So let's see. Ooh, we had quite a few people come in. Let's see where we left off. Molly, we were talking about George Takei. He was from Star Trek. Apparently, he is a well-known gay actor and activist. I could not spit that out. What are words today? It's Wednesday. That's what it is. We were talking about briefly Star Trek, and I have not watched Star Trek. It's on my list, so I will get there. Allie says I haven't watched all of Star Trek either, so don't feel bad, Alicia. You're not the only one. Yay! I'm not alone. Blake is here. Good morning. I'm working on a vegetable diamond project this morning. Ooh. How are you faring with progress? I know you sent me a picture in Discord. It looks very colorful, very realistic. Daniela is here. Hello, hello. This is me saying good morning to Blake. Daniela says, just figuring out my weekend plans. Weekend plans? I haven't gotten that far yet. I gotta figure out what's tomorrow and Friday. This is me saying hello to Daniela. You can probably hear my kids in the background. They're watching TV, but full of themselves. Hold on one second. My son was playing with, I have like this rod that's shaped that you can put inside the top of a keyboard, like a musical keyboard, and it holds the sheet music. Well, he was just ringing it around, and I was just like, no, that's not a toy. No, you could hurt somebody. Now they're fighting over the Switch. Might have to get a second one. Oy. Vanessa is here. Good morning. Good morning. As you can tell, it is very much chaos at my house this morning, and I don't know why. Vanessa says, "Morning, pirates are." Good morning. They're plotting to play the Switch together. Maybe, possibly, it's possible. Okay. I'll alert the local media. Angie is here. Good morning, pirate friends. Working and listening to my gay shit book. Worked on my book yesterday and was happy with it. Hoping for time to build on it today. Nice. Angie says hi to Vanessa. Vanessa says I am practicing my Italian since I have my lesson in about 45 minutes. Ooh, practice away. Vanessa says hi to Angie. What gay shit book are you listening to? Always looking to gay shit. Yeah. Angie says how to flirt with a witch. Freeable on Audible. P.S. I'm Angie. Hi, Angie. I love that title. Also, the Resurrectionist could also be used for gay shit because it does have some of that in there. Male for that. Very intriguing book, I'll say the least. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet. It's a toss up between 3 or 4 stars. It didn't like wow me, but it was good. Angie says you should see the cover. Very pretty. And Christina is here. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Christina. Oh, it is. I was expecting something that looked more cozy. Christina is here. Morning, Christina. And Christina says, hi, Vanessa, Angie, Pearl, Daniela, Blake, Allie, Molly, Swank, Lindsay, Ren, Agent T, Andy, and Paula. Anybody else? And anyone that she missed. Christina says, remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring the bell so you hopefully get notified. Yes, please, and thank you. We appreciate it. I do have to swap laundry. I have to see if there's anything in the dryer and then switch washer to dryer. So I'll do that in the next sprint too. I have to add it to my list. This is me saying hi to Vanessa and Christina, and also hi to Angie. Blake says hi to Pearl and hi to Christina. Angie says hi, Alicia and Christina. Allie says got to page 140 in Murder in Season. Almost finished chapter 13. I'm definitely hooked. Ooh. Jean says, hello, Alicia. How is journaling week going? Well, I attempted to get them to do some yesterday, but yesterday was a very chaotic day. So it's very slow going. We're going to try again today. I set aside some time so that I could not only work on setting up another piece of my reading journal, but I'm going to teach them how to journal with their notebooks that they've been given, and we'll see how it goes. And hello, Jean. Welcome in. Vanessa says, I'm conjugating Italian verbs. Ooh. Is it easy? Is it hard? Swink says, oi, Blake. Allie says, hello, Blake. Swink says, Gira. Only if. That is Daniela. Allie says, hello. Only if for a page. Lindsay says, how's the journaling going with the kiddos? Very slow. I've been trying to also think of prompts that I could write in their notebooks and then they could journal about that. So I might look up a couple of those. I think I have a list somewhere on Pinterest. Because I find things and I go through Pinterest and I go, ooh, let me save that for later. Ooh, let me save that for later. And then I can't find it. But yeah, we're going to set aside some time this afternoon after lunch and do some. I think Lorelai will be more inclined to do it. Not so much my son. But we'll see. He could surprise me. Ali says hello to Vanessa. And hello to Angie. Hello to Christina. Swank says Guten Morgen, Angie. And Namaste, Mama. Molly says I'm trying to clear some browser tabs. I need to do that on my desktop. I was looking at things and I need to figure out what is still relevant. And I need to make a list of errands to do today as well because I have to pick up my prescription. I have to pick up and return library books. And I'm sure there's one more that I'm forgetting. I might just do those two today, though. Vanessa says, say what? That's Italian. Tutto bene et tu? I probably butchered that. Let me know. Because I do not know Italian. Vanessa says to Molly, Molly. And Molly says, Vanessa. Swank says, Vanessa, that sounds dirty, right? Who knew? Swank says hi to Jean. Vanessa. Who's the author of The Resurrectionist? There is a surprisingly number of books with that title. It's A. Ray Dunlap. Dunlap. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. A. Ray Dunlap. I know. I have another one that's called The Resurrectionist, and it's a black cover with like this skeleton with wings thing. It's not that one. It's the lighter of the two. Vanessa to Swank, it does, right? LOL. It means all good. All that to say all good. Robin is here. Hello, Robin. Good morning, all. Just getting home from my first PT session for my shoulder. Fortunately, they can also do my PT for the dizziness. This is supposed to tide me over until I have a shoulder surgery. Ugh. Well, I'm glad it's going well, but I hate that you have to have surgery for it. But I hope that you have no other issues once the surgery is done. I think I've only ever had, if you count C-sections as surgery, then I've had 3. Because I've had 2 C-sections and then I had eye surgery when I was little. Lauren is also here. Hi, ladies. From the pool deck on the cruise, it's freezing and raining, but I'm reading with my sweatshirt on. Ooh. It's a nice change of scenery. I don't like that it's freezing and raining for you, but that's if it wasn't, then that would be nice to just sit and read and relax. I love that for you. Christina says hi to Jean. And Swank says, Kosi, Kosi? Eh? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right. You have to let me know. Ali says, hi, Robin. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Jean. Jean says, I finished Be My Endgame, a male-male FIFA romance. I really enjoyed it. Huh. Nice. Vanessa says, I'm doing regular R verbs right now. It's easy generally in terms of writing them out, but the remembering part is a little harder. Working on it. Ooh. I remember trying to do that with Spanish. Trying to remember all of the different verbs and how to conjugate them and all that stuff. It wasn't easy. Even though the college advisors said that Spanish was the easiest to learn. To be honest, I would have taken German, but it's okay. I got through. I graduated. It's fine. Swank says Kia Ora Robin. Blank says hi to Ali and Swank. Ali is your name with a Y or IE. I always assume it's a IE, but I could be wrong. Swank says bonjour Lauren. Vanessa to Lauren says, that's a really great reading corner you chose this week, right? Lindsay says, what about a journaling list of favorite stuff, animals, colors, activities, and they could add pictures or stickers of these items. Ooh, that's a good idea. I will use that. Thank you. They could keep like a little list / journal. I have lots of those. Allie says, is Italian hard to learn, Vanessa? Thinking about learning a new language. Christina, Allie is Allie. And there are hearts. Allie is saying Christina with a heart. Jean, my screen went to bubbles. Jean says, journal suggestions about the best day ever. What are you most looking forward to and the best you have gotten? Ooh, I like those too as well. Thank you. I'm going to pin these comments so that I can go back to them and write them down. Those are very good ideas. Robin says hi to Nikki. Christina says hi to Robin. Robin says hi to Christina. Lauren says thanks. I plan on it. Christina says hi to Lauren. Vanessa to Allie says it's not super hard, but it can be challenging for English speakers because we're not used to gendered nouns, but that's also common for a lot of languages, especially Romance languages. Ooh. Jean says if you use Be My Endgame, you can use it for the prompt published in June. Nice. I have no idea what the prompts are for the readathon. Vanessa to Robin, a rotator cuff, ? Allie says, I'm so sorry. Mom had shoulder issues, so I am somewhat familiar with that, but no surgery, fortunately for her, at least not yet. Vanessa says, found the correct The Resurrectionist in the Queer Liberation Library, because, of course, my library doesn't carry it. Rude. All libraries should carry it. They should carry all of the books. Allie says, okay, thank you, Vanessa. Robin says, never had to have a C-section, but I've had over 30 surgeries, probably more than that if I were to sit down, and at the moment, mostly orthopedic because I have several osteoarthritis. Oh. C-sections aren't too horrible, but it does take a bit longer to heal than a natural or vaginal birth does, because obviously you're cutting not only through flesh but muscle. So, and doing that twice, it was harder the second time than the first, but thankfully I did not have any complications. Robin says, yes, Vanessa. Allie says, it's Allie to Blake. I have to wait. Ren says, got the dishes done. Chicken is defrosting and veggies are being steamed. Nice. Vanessa to Robin, I had rotator cuff surgery a few years ago. Highly recommend getting a mesh sling for showering, since they want you to not even put the weight of your arm on the shoulder for a bit. Oh, wow. Best gift you have gotten. Oh, I got you. Okay. I am going to write that down. And then let's go into our second sprint I have 30 minutes on the clock. I think this time I am going to try and do the budget stuff and I'll get dressed. And then if I have time, I'll do the A Darker Shade of Magic breakdown if I haven't done it already. And Vanessa says, Lorelai.
Hi.
I'll say good morning.
Good morning to everybody on my mom's brain. Hi.
That one. I literally waved at the computer monitor. She was waving even though you couldn't see her. Jean says good morning to Lorelai. And Allie says, hello, Lorelai. All right. Yeah, she's doing our happy dance now because she got all the hellos. You're going to go play with your brother?
I can't.
You can't?
No.
No. Apparently they're trying to play Minecraft, so.
It says to do something. I can press this button and then it selects you.
Oi. They're trying to figure out how to play two-player with Minecraft on the Switch. I don't know. Vanessa says she is so cute. She is. Swank says G. Good morning. Christina says hi, Lorelai. Angie says good morning. You're adorable. She knows. She knows. They said good morning and you're adorable. See, she knows. Vanessa, I'll be gone for the next chatty bit, but we'll try to come back for the end. Have a good time at your lesson. Christina is putting all of the hearts.
Yes.
And Swank says, howdy, Lorelai.
Good morning.
Jean says, I love it when you mute. I try to imagine what you're saying. It's me basically going, you guys have to wait until I go to a sprint, and I don't know what you guys are trying to do, so you have to wait. That's basically like they always come to me when I'm trying to talk. So I just go, okay, I mute, and then I go, you guys have to wait. I can't do anything until I go to a sprint. And then they go, okay. And then I come back. All right. But on that note, we are going to go to our next sprint so I can figure out what they're trying to do. And I will see you guys back in 30 minutes.
Bye.
Happy sprinting. All right, that was our second sprint. Let me switch screens here. How did everyone do? I will say that I did the A Darker Shade of Magic breakdown. You'll have to let me know if you understand the breakdown because I had a hard time trying to write it because there's a lot of different parts in the book. And then when you start a new part, then it kind of starts with the chapters over. So hopefully it makes sense for you guys. But I went through and there's going to be 4 weeks of sprints before we have the discussion. I did also get dressed and I have started the budget stuff, but I have not completed it. So I will not cross that off just yet. That will have to be finished in the last sprint. So let's see. Excuse me. Let's see where we left off, and I will go from there. Did I not? I think this was our last comment. One thing I do like that Restream has done is if you've read the comment already, it kind of like mutes it, and then all the new comments are brighter. So I'm pretty sure, because I did not pin it, I'm pretty sure this was our last comment. And this was Jean saying, I love when you mute. I try to imagine what you're saying. I can only imagine. But no, it's just me kind of going, hey, don't do that. Hey, can you guys stop? It's so loud. Why are we so loud? Because they definitely do not use their inside voices most of the time. Robin says, thanks for letting me know, Vanessa. Lauren says, sorry, I have an annoying woman next to me. Someone save me. Oh, I'm so sorry. If I could save you, I would. Lindsay says, I wave at the monitor all the time. My hubby laughs at me doing it as you guys can't see me. I mean, I've done it. I just go, hi. I do it too. Robin says, so my girls have each had 3 babies, and each time they were C-sections. 2. 2 babies. Oh, yes. The only reason that I had C-sections was because when my son was born, it was during Hurricane Irma. And it was kind of like my water broke early in the morning, like 5 o'clock hour. And we went to the hospital. We did pushing for a couple of hours and there was no progress. And then they determined that either I can continue pushing, but at that point I was starting to get tired, or I could go to C-section and it be done. So we decided to go with C-section because I didn't want him to have any issues. So I went to C-section and then he was born around lunchtime. So, but, and then because he was a C-section, then my daughter had to be a C-section, because they said that my birth canal is too small and I wasn't able to progress, which is fine. Better to just let them do their thing and then I'll just take my time healing, which I did. Molly says, hey, anyone want to join Comic-Con readathon with me next month? We can pick a team to be on together. You don't have to read comics. Any books count. There is the link. I believe this is being done by Literary Hype Woman, Stephanie. I have to go watch her announcement video and then make my decision because I know that like for the rest of this month and probably part of July, we'll be putting the library back together. So it will depend. It'll depend on my progress. This is Chantel's sprints. They're currently doing their Wednesday book club sprints. I don't know what book they're reading though. But there's their link. Allie says, I got to page 160 in Murder in Session, almost finished chapter 15. Nice. Hopefully you are enjoying it. Andy says, watched a bit of educational videos. Ooh, what is the subject matter? Is it science, history, writing? Let us know. Angie says, where do we find the breakdown? It will be in my Discord, and there will be a whole channel under 100 Pages Book Club, and that's where we put the breakdowns. And if you guys want to leave notes or comments about the books, then they have their own little channel to do that with. If one of the mods don't beat me to it, I will post the link to my Discord momentarily if you're not already there. Daniela says started laundry and the dishwasher. Ooh, that's something I need to do. I need to do dishes. I will do that after sprints though. Angie says I got some work done and listening to my book. Lindsay says, yeah, breakdown of pages makes sense to me, but I'm not going to be reading it. So, well, at least it makes sense. Because I know you have read the book already. But hopefully it will make sense to everybody else. Angie says kids have two voice levels, outside voice and louder outside voice. Yes, I agree. I have been trying to teach inside voices for the longest time, ever since they could talk, and it seems like it's in one ear and out the other. Pearl says, I'm still here, been making sandwiches for the band, going to a police funeral tomorrow. I'm sorry you guys have to go to a funeral, but yay for sandwiches. I hope everything goes smoothly. Christina says, I wave to and talk to it, like I respond to comments aloud, then sometimes wonder why I can't find my comments in the chat. I don't know if I've quite done that. I've done it where I've typed a comment and I've just not sent it. I do all that all the time. But I have not, I don't think I've ever looked for my comments that I said out loud. At least not yet. Allie says, I may join you, Molly. My boyfriend has a bunch of comics he wants me to see if I like. Ooh, nice, nice. Sounds good, Alicia and Allie. Chantel and Paula are reading Our Wives Under the Sea. I have never heard of that one. I'll have to look that up. And Allie says, we'll see who did it. Who did it? Who did what? There is Christina helping me out. Thank you, thank you. That is the link to my Discord. Once you're in, then you can chat and you can post pictures of all the things. In the showcase section, that's where you can do your projects, pets, food, anything that is listed there. You can post it, TBRs, book hauls, all of the things. And then above that, there should be the polls section, which closed this morning. So Crooked Kingdom is the next book after A Darker Shade of Magic. So that one won out. So I created a channel for that. And I do have to see if I need to update the library reno. And then you'll be able to see the breakdown for A Darker Shade of Magic. Lindsay says Our Wives Under the Sea is one of the weirdest books I've read. Really? I think they might lose their ability to play the Switch if they can't quiet down. Molly says, I'm watching Chantel, you, and Renee, and despite the different sprint times, you all are having a chatty bit right now. Interesting. That's kind of cool. I bet that's hard to listen to, though. Can you listen to all of them without, like, can you differentiate between the two? Or three? That's wild, though. Allie says, I'm trying to teach inside voices to my cousins that don't know it. Any suggestions, Alicia? I got nothing. I mean, I try to do like, take them to a library. I've tried that, where if you take them to a library and you say you have to use an inside voice, people will give you weird looks if you are loud. But here at home, I got nothing. I have tried, and it seems like it's in one ear and out the other. Um, because I can tell them to use an inside voice, that they don't need to be loud. And somehow they forget that and they always get louder. And then I have to remind them to use an inside voice. And so far, so good, they're using it. But I guarantee as soon as we go to a sprint or in a few seconds, they'll do something in the game and they'll get louder. So it just depends. They've never really been. I'm trying. I'm trying. One of these days they will get it. But they are also 7 and 8. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know if I come up with anything genius. But I think that is our last comment of the chat. Nope. I scrolled and it was like 2 more popped up. Allie says my book Who Murdered 2 Characters. Oh, we'll see who did it. Oh, I was like, who did what? And then that makes more sense. Your book Who Murdered 2 Characters. Wow. And Lindsay says, whoop whoop, Crooked Kingdom. I know, everyone's going to be excited to see what happens. And we will be finishing off a duology when we finish Crooked Kingdom. So I will have to find my copy of that book so that I can go ahead and tab it. And then I can put the breakdown in the Discord for that. And Angie says, I think next sprint I am going to get dressed and eat breakfast. That sounds like a good plan. I got dressed. Now I have to do the dreaded budgeting and prepare to go out and do errands because I have to go to the post office, the library, and the pharmacy. So hopefully all will go well. And then I can come home and eat lunch. All right. So no more comments. I cannot see scrolling. I think we have reached the end. Here we go. Seems to be a delay because I can see it on YouTube, right? And then, but it didn't show. You guys' comments didn't show up like this one and Swank's. Lindsay says, so I'll have one less ongoing series, right? Me too. And then Swank says, I finished morning pages and started my study books. Nice. And then Allie, next sprint, takes meds and reads more of my book. Awesome. Like I said, I'm going to be doing budgeting. If for some reason I finish that rather quickly, then I think I'm going to continue to read Crown of Midnight because I'm trying to catch up with Jen and Jesse for Mass Verse. So, but I also need to see what books and things need to go back to the library and get ready to do my errands afterwards. So we'll see what happens. But I don't see any other comments, so we're going to pin that one. And I will see you guys. Hold on. This is our final sprint, so make it count. And I will see you guys back in 30 minutes. Hello. Let me switch the screen here. How did everybody do? Also, I'm going to call it finished because I did what I was supposed to. It's just a matter of writing down the notes that I need for my notebook, but budgeting stuff is done. So, that is that. You guys also saw that I got dressed, and what was the other one? I did breakfast. I did the Resurrectionist. I did the Darker Shade of Magic breakdown. So my list is done. Ooh, what a productive morning. All right, let's see how everyone else did, and then we will skedaddle for the day. And we'll put in links to other sprints that may be happening. This was our last comment. Allie was saying next sprint she'll take meds and read more of her book. Nina popped in. Good morning. Good morning. Swank says, Crocked Kingdom, the world of sentient crockpots must fight off the evil ingredients on their way to dinner. That actually sounds kind of fun. This is Molly laughing at Swank. I can't see the emojis. Yes. That's funny. Tula popped in. She says, Hi, Kelly and Alicia. Just got in from a long day at the office. And hi to chat. This is me answering all of the people. I said hello to Nina and was laughing at Swank as well. And said hello to Tula, but said it was just me today. No Kelly today. Swank says, finished my study books and started reading Feral Creatures. Nice, nice. Ren says, thanks for sprints, Alicia. You're so welcome. Angie says, I still didn't get dressed, lol, but I did take my meds and make and eat breakfast. That is progress. It's okay if you didn't get dressed. I do that sometimes too. Well, I will wait until the very last minute to get dressed, and it usually is in early afternoon. I'll get dressed and then eat lunch. It happens. It happens. Christina says, here's tomorrow's Time Pirates on my channel. Thank you, thank you. Yes, you will have me taking over for one more day, and then Kelly will be back on Friday. Allie says, I got to page 180 in Murder in Season, almost finished chapter 17. Nice. I should finish either today or tomorrow. You've got this. Whoa. Hello. Things jumped. Allie says, and got meds taken. Very nice. Also, Christina put in the 100 pages tonight at 8:30 Eastern Time. There is the link for that, where we will be starting. We'll be starting A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. So come, join us if you can. And Christina says Vanessa will be live in about 30-ish minutes. Thank you for the link for that. Let's see, because I need to open that up so that I can peek in for that and let her know that I'm going to be on errands, because I don't know if she's here or not. Allie says, hello, Nina and Tula. And thanks for sprints, Alicia. You're so welcome. Also, if you need more sprinting, then Christina has posted the link. Chantel is currently sprinting for Gay Shit / Pleasure Your Shelf, because they are doing Gay Shit and their book club. Vanessa did make it back. Thanks, Christina. You're so welcome. Vanessa, also, I started A Darker Shade of Magic last night. Ooh, how far did you get? How far ahead of you are you? Vanessa says, because I'm a rebel. It's fine. It's fine. Christina says, remember to hydrate, feed thyself, save progress, laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring the bell so you hopefully get notified. Yes, please, and thank you. Vanessa says, thanks for sprints, Alicia. You're so welcome. I'll see you in your sprints momentarily when you start at 12, but I will be in and out doing errands because I have to run to the post office, the library, and the pharmacy. But I will be back and hang out. Pearl says, lurking still, working on cleaning the kitchen now. Then I need to get out for a walk. I need to clean the kitchen as well. I can't guarantee a walk, though, because it's supposed to rain this afternoon. And it's already too hot. Molly says, thanks for hosting alone today, Alicia. You're welcome. Molly says, Vanessa, are you sprinting today? Yes, they posted the link above. Let me see. Where's it at? Here is the link for Vanessa. She'll be starting around noon, so 30-ish minutes, 20-ish minutes. Where did I leave off? There it is. And Vanessa says, I'm about 8% in. That does not tell me anything. Do you have the physical book? What page? What page is 8%? I mean, I haven't started it, so I'll start it tonight. Christina says, for more Sprinty Fun and Readathon info, the Sprinting Spreadsheet, aka BookTube Bible, there's the link for that. It's a spreadsheet that has been created to tell you who all is sprinting on which day of the month and in which time zone. Be sure to check the tabs at the bottom of the spreadsheet. That will give you the days, who is sprinting, and what times, and in what time zones. So you can find Sprinting Fun any time of the day, 24/7. Christina says, thanks for hosting today, Alicia. Have a beautiful day. You as well. I'm sure I will see you around the interwebs and in the chats. Swank says, thanks for sprints. See you tonight. See you tonight, Swank. Molly says, storms are rolling in soon. I should do some outside reading soon. Yes, do that before the storms come. Thanks for the link. You're welcome. And Christina says, also, Anna will be sprinting for the Maker's Quest at 2 p.m. today. There is the link for that. Ooh, I might have to pop in and say hello. Vanessa says, yep, gonna start the stream in about 10, live at top of the hour. Oh, you have the ebook version. All right. And it says I'm at section 2, Royal Red. Let me see. There's no page number. Okay, so this would be like 37, page 37. Yep, because this is 39, and that's after part 2. So you're not too far. You're well on your way, though. Christina says, thanks for mentioning the bottom. So many people did not see that and thought it was just the welcome page. No, you have to see all of the tabs. I know, I forget whose sprints it was, but somebody had made mention of that. And I was like, a lot of people probably don't, because they look at the screen themselves, but they're not actually looking at the bottom of the tabs. So I decided to start mentioning it so that they know that's where, depending on what day of the week it is or what day, they can find them. And so it helps. I wish there was a way you could make the tabs bigger, like more viewable. I don't know, but I keep the PSA. Check the tabs at the bottom. And Andy says, thank you. See you tonight. And I will see everyone tonight for 100 Pages Book Club. I don't know if Kelly will be in attendance. I will send her the link just in case. I think she said she should be there, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll send the link, see what happens. But I will see you all tonight for 100 Pages Book Club. And Vanessa says, I love that the Bible has the day tabs, right? Me too. I love it. I love it. Vanessa says, thank you for all the work, Christina. You're an angel. I believe it is it Vanessa, Katie, Coda, and Christina? Read with Dr. B, Vanessa. I believe all of them have grouped and created. And I know Christina does a lot of like updates and grabbing links and all that stuff. We are greatly appreciative. And you are most welcome. And Vanessa says, I can hang out tonight if you want someone and Kelly's not available. I will send you the link as well. I'll let you know. I may not have power, so I'll see you if I can. No worries. Make sure that if you do not have power, you stay safe. I know there's a lot of storms and weird weather and wonky weather going around. There you go. Vanessa created it, and then she's added people to help keep it updated. There we go. There we go. All right. I am off. I'm going to go pop in and say hello to Chantel and Paula and pull up Vanessa's stream. So I'll most likely be in there. But I do have some errands to run, and I want to do those before it rains today. So I'm going to read these last two comments, and then I'm skedaddling. Vanessa says, okay, gotta run, gotta prep the stream. Have a great day, y'all. You as well. I'll see you in a bit. And Christina says, but right now, it is me, Donna, and Dee Dee that work on it. And Coda does the time zones. Ooh, look at you guys. So they've added more people that like work on it as well. Love that. Christina says, remember to charge all of your things, Molly. Yes, make sure everything is charged up and ready to go. If you have power banks that you can use, get those charged up as well. And Christina says, and get a jug of water handy. Yes. And flashlights. And Molly says, got water. Perfect. All right. Arg, pirates. I am going to skedaddle, and I will see you all tomorrow or tonight, depending on where I see you. Either for 100 Pages Book Club or tomorrow for Morning Time Pirates. No flashlights, unfortunately. Oh, no. Candles, maybe? Just be careful. Yep, see? Me and Christina are on the same wavelength there. Either way, be safe. And I will see you guys. Camping Lantern Works. Yep. I will see you guys